Rob Aitken and Jen Cathcart from NetDocuments, and we're going to be talking about our recent partnership announcement between ServiceScaler and NetDocuments. So welcome, guys.
Thanks so much, Rob.
Thanks very much. Good to be here.
Very good. So today we're going to just go through why ServiceScaler partnered with NetDocuments. There were some things that we'd identified about NetDocuments as being super high value to firms in being able to step away or step up from just basic document management into something that was far more robust and far more capable, for small practices up to big practices, it doesn't matter, but just that extension of capability around document management. ServiceScaler identified that, so we obviously work exclusively with law firms around Australia, delivering IT services, turnkey software solutions for a few bits and pieces, and particularly consultancy, so strategic consultancy about what firms should be doing with their technology, where they should be looking to, what they should be considering, and obviously NetDocuments existing in that sort of legal sphere in the technology space, and that being a key audience for you and for us, it made sense to go, okay, well, what can NetDocuments do and how can it better deliver value to our clients? And what can ServiceScaler do to help facilitate that? Which I think is the exciting piece from the ServiceScaler side, going, okay, well, what can we do? And there's some great integration between NetDocuments and the likes of Office 365. So being able to send stuff through to Teams and pull data back out of there. Obviously, ServiceScaler does a lot of work in Office 365 and having an adjacent application which can enhance the capabilities around document management made a lot of sense to us, which is why we initiated the partnership.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. And I think it was evident on our first conversation that you're all about just making sure your clients have, the latest tech and then they're getting the most out of that. So your focus with Microsoft and, the growing increase in Teams and things like that is really aligned with what we do. So it just made sense to kind of have some conversations, just make sure that your clients had the option to have a chat with us and make sure that they have the best technology available.
That's right. Yeah, for us, it's all about best of breed. We don't mind what the product or the solution is that our clients put in place, as long as it's the right one. So That's from our perspective all we care about. So it's great to have the availability to channel people through to what we believe is the right products for them, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that NetDocuments fits in well with your vision of what your clients should be achieving. So good to hear.
That's we awesome. Believe it's the right product too.
Yeah, absolutely. We all do. In our unbiased opinion, best products.
Exactly.
That's right. That's good. So the reason that I've brought Rob and Jen along today into our collaboration is so that they can demonstrate some of the super high value stuff around NetDocuments. So for those who don't know NetDocuments, it's a pure cloud, so software as a service document management system, has integration into most of the practice management systems so that you can spin out workspaces, matter workspaces, but basically repositories for the documents that are associated to a matter. Where it becomes more powerful than just being able to file documents is in its ability to integrate with other applications, particularly across the Office 365 stack, and some of the cool features and technology it has that sit inside of the system, which will enhance or value add the document management piece for a lot of firms. So the reason I've got them along today is so that they can talk about or demonstrate some of those higher value parts of the application, and so we can have a bit of a demo of the product.
Definitely. And I'm happy to assist with that. I think there's a lot that you can do within NetDocs, and obviously we have a short amount of time. So I just wanted to do some highlights of things that might be a little bit different than what people have with existing DMS functionality. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of key differences, and if anyone wanted to chat further, I'd be happy to book in a time and have like a full interactive demo. But today was just to show a little preview of some things that might be of value. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. So what you're looking at now is just our home screen. So everyone that logs in has their own unique home screen, and any documents or workspaces that's important to them is one click away. That's actually unique for NetDocuments. But I think that one of the pieces that you wanted me to highlight today is going to be our set builder, which is a tool to compile briefs or deal Bibles, basically a digital binder directly within a workspace. So within the platform, I'm just going to go ahead and go to a workspace here. You can see we have a couple tabs to choose from. There's a ton of functionality here, like I said, that I won't highlight. But if I go into the Sets tab, this is where I have the ability to create this digital binder, and this is inheriting all the security of the workspace. We have military grade security, and it's the highest level of security available to a cloud vendor. So by using Set Builder, not only do the documents not need to leave the DMS, but everything that you're doing is inheriting that. So, I think I saw something from our product team that was saying that 2021 has been the worst year when it comes to attacks and things with the internet so far. So like that's something that's a real issue. I obviously would probably need to read the article to talk further about that, but I think security, we can all agree, is a really important piece of everything. So going into a binder here, so I just created this about a moment ago just to get started, but essentially what I can do here is aggregate these documents, and I can do things like add a document, add a placeholder, I can add a new header or a section, and everything's very easy. It's drag and drop. So whether I want to add a document directly from NetDocuments, I'm in my particular workspace here, and I can look at the different document types that I have. I could actually select an agreement, and I can preview that over here on the right to see what the document is before I actually add it into the binder. So I can fully interact with that document. This document happens to have a table of contents, so I can actually do things like look at Article 4, and I could make this big as well if I wanted to preview the document without actually downloading it or checking it out. So a lot of really great functionality just within our preview, and that's available anywhere within NetDocs. But when I add a document, I can select a couple here. So let's say that I want to add these two documents, and I actually want to provide a copy of these into the binder. So I can really quickly go ahead and add those into this binder, and then I can move them around and have them in whatever order I want. And with Set Builder, you can create an index page, you can have pagination, and regardless of the document type, it's all going to be generated into one hyperlinked PDF. So it's really easy to share with your clients, and we have some great ways to share securely as well. But one of the things that I really like about Set Builder is that most of the time we are getting documents via email these days. So what you can do is you can actually drag and drop a document directly from your email and the attachment, and boom, it goes into Set Builder really quickly. So also the same goes if you have a folder on your desktop that's not in NetDocs, you can drag and drop that into the set, and it will maintain that structure of the folder, which is a really nice feature as well. So once you're ready to make this a binder, obviously I only have a couple things here, but just for the sake of time, let's go ahead and look to see what it looks like to generate a binder. And you can see here that we don't currently have a cover page because I haven't set that up, but I'm going to go ahead and generate this. And once I have done that, it'll become that hyperlinked PDF to share. So as I do that now, you'll be able to see what it looks like.
So my customers ask me about this all the time, Jen. So this is something that people constantly ask me about, going, do you have a better way of building briefs or court books or discovery sets that I can share with other parties? What's the best way of doing it? Is there something just off the shelf that we can get? And I'm really pleased that you actually showed this functionality, because this is really powerful. This is really quick to assemble something from documents that already exist in the system. So you've already captured those, and being able to collaborate them and sort them very, very easily, doing drag and drop. Super, super awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and here you can see I have this hyperlinked binder. Obviously, we don't have a lot of information, but it's easy to get to the index page or whatever location that you want to directly from the binder. So super easy to use and very intuitive.
That's awesome.
The other piece that I want to show, just why people might be interested, is that email management piece, because I think that that's something we can all agree. We live in Outlook, And that's something that, for me at least, I have Outlook open at all times of the day. So just having something that works with you and you don't have to go back at the end of the day and worry about it is really key. So our email management is called NDMail, and it uses predictive technology. So it's using artificial intelligence to look at the to, the from, the subject line. And based on that information, it's going to predict the location of where that should be saved within NetDocs. So if you look at my inbox here, you'll see that I have a little ND column. And under that, some of these emails have a check mark next to it. That's called our global filing indicator. And not only does that show up when you save the email, but anybody else within the firm who has was on that email chain will also see that little check mark. So it's a really nice feature to show an email's been saved, and it's one-click filing. So if I move on to this email from Robert, you can see these predictions update in real time. And if I actually saved another email from him. So because I moved on, we see a little tick mark here. But let's say I want to go to this email here and this one hasn't been saved. So based on that, the predictions have updated. So I noticed that he put Qantas in the email. So the Jetstar demerger with Qantas is coming up as an option in the predictions. So I can select that and move on, and we'll see that there's now a little tick mark there as well. So it's one-click filing, and once you save it, all the future correspondence automatically saves. So you don't need to go through that again as you continue to reply to that email thread, which I think is really nice. You can also map folders in Outlook to a location in the NetDocuments cloud. So if you prefer to drag and drop, that's also an option. And you can fully access NetDocuments as well through Outlook. So if you wanted to be able to use this to preview documents and things like that, you are able to do that. And you can open documents, email them, etc., directly from Outlook. So all those are really nice options.
One of the other things that I like, Jen, and I know this is something that we've seen before, is if you, so someone sends an email to the firm and sends it to multiple people within the firm, if one of them registers that email, it comes up as registered on the other person's mailbox.
Yep, that's that global filing indicator. So everyone will be able to see that it's been filed.
Yeah, which is awesome because, you know, this is something that we see happen quite often, is where there's multiple filings of the same thing in the same file and nobody knows which one is the most recent and what's going on. So just that bit of intuition from the system to know, okay, well, that one's already been filed. You're trying to file the same thing. Don't try and file it again. It's all good. Move on to the next thing is really good.
Yeah, and it's just nice to see that, you know, they can see the location of where it's been filed and just move on just within Outlook, so they don't need to worry about logging into anything.
That's awesome.
So this is a new feature for NetDocs. So we're basically on version 1. So I'm really excited to see the roadmap on this because there's going to be a lot of enhanced functionality as well. But basically right now you can have these matter-centric tasks and it's super easy to use. So if you were to create a new task, you can easily create a description in which you can tag people, just like you would in an Outlook email, etc. You can create a checklist item to do with the task, and then you can mark that as completed. You can do things like assign it to specific people and they will get an email notification. You can color code it and have different tags. And of course, you can actually add documents assigned to that task directly within NetDocs, which makes it super seamless. And the nice thing too is you can actually have a conversation here in the comments section. So just that @mention capability that I was discussing is something that's available here as well. So instead of emailing things back and forth, attaching a document, saying, can you work on this? You could easily just assign the task, they get an email, and then you'll be able to have a quick chat in the comments to kind of discuss some basic stuff you need to. So we think that it's a really nice feature to add a little bit of workflow into that matter centricity. And it's easy to drag and drop all of this as well. So very user-friendly along the lines of everything else that we have within NetDocs.
So I love this. This is one of my favorite features. So when I looked at the product roadmap and what was upcoming and what's being developed upon, this was one of the things that I thought was awesome, because I know a lot of firms have challenges around this, making sure that things get done and stuff within a matter gets driven forward. So normally it'll be assigned to an individual practitioner to work their way through the matter. But when multiple parties come in, so when you have legal support coming in, your paralegal, and you might have support staff that all need to contribute to that matter, whose responsibility is it to do the next piece is really hard. And just being able to assign tasks here, just see them on the board, super, super easy. So yeah, this is a really, really good feature.
Yeah. So, and like I said, the roadmap is really excited. It's going to be integrated into Set Builder, and Outlook and all those different things. So everything basically has that connective tissue to come together. So it's a really exciting time for NetDocs, and we're happy to chat with anyone that wants to learn more.
NetDocs and NetDocuments partners like ServiceScaler. So
yes.
This is the stuff, being a technology strategist, this is the stuff that I love to see, because I love to see how the application of this technology can make people's lives better. Make their lives easier. I'm all about that. The reason I'm so good at automation is because I'm inherently lazy. I just love to see things automated. Just make it automated, make it done. I don't want to contribute to it. Just whatever the system can do, let it do that, and just let me contribute the high value stuff to the process. And it's great to see that NetDocuments is moving along the same vein, where it's automate everything you can and keep focused on the high value stuff.
And speaking of that, we actually have the Power Automate connectors included with our core package as well. So if anyone is interested in that, and they're creating some workflows there, that's something that can be incorporated into NetDocs as well.
That's awesome, and that fits right squarely into my sights. I'm a big fan of Power Automate and its capability, particularly being an integrated solution to be able to drive workflow both in NetDocuments and obviously outside of NetDocuments in the Office 365 stack, which is more broadly capable than most people would realize too. So that's a very exciting proposition that we'll be able to build those things together.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's wonderful. Look, guys, thank you very, very much for today. I really, really do appreciate you being able to demonstrate that, and hopefully some of my audience will get some value from that and just see a little bit more about the capabilities of NetDocuments and where it may be able to fit into their firm. They can obviously reach out to you guys directly if they need more information about any of that. Or if you'd like to have a confidential discussion, maybe not directly with the vendor, and you have a few questions about it, you're welcome to come to me. I've been doing plenty of study around the NetDocuments application and its feature set. I've done a lot of work with document management in the background as well. So any of those strategic pieces that fit into that around the information management side of things, I can certainly help with. And if it looks like it might be a right fit, then we can get you in touch with the NetDocuments team, with Rob and Jen, so they can show you a bit more about it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Rob.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
very
We
much.
appreciate the time.
Awesome. Thank you.